Across the sun-scorched sands of the Giza plateau, against the endless expanse of the Egyptian sky, stand monuments that defy the very limits of human comprehension. For millennia, they have silently watched the world change, their colossal forms enduring as the ultimate testament to a lost age. These are the Great Pyramids, and they are not merely tombs or temples. They are colossal enigmas, frozen in stone, whispering tales of engineering prowess that modern science struggles to reconcile with the known capabilities of their builders. The sheer scale is staggering, almost beyond imagination. We speak primarily of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, or Cheops, as the Greeks knew him, a pharaoh of the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom, whose reign is generally placed around 2580 to 2560 BCE. For over 3,800 years, this structure, originally soaring to a height of 146.6 meters, nearly 481 feet, remained the tallest man-made edifice on Earth. Its base alone covers an astonishing 13 acres, a footprint so vast it could encompass several city blocks. To construct such a monument required an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. But this average hides an even more daunting truth. The massive granite beams and blocks used in the king's chamber and other internal structures weigh upwards of 25, 50, and even 80 tons each. Imagine for a moment the cumulative weight of this marvel, an estimated 6 million tons of solid rock, meticulously assembled into a perfect geometric form. How did an ancient civilization without the benefit of steel tools, without the wheel in any practical sense for heavy transport, without pulleys, cranes, or any form of advanced machinery, quarry, transport, and then lift these millions of tons of stone? Traditional explanations suggest copper chisels and dolerite pounding stones were used to extract the limestone from nearby Tura quarries and the granite from distant Aswan, hundreds of miles to the south. Then, these gargantuan blocks were supposedly dragged on wooden sledges over lubricated tracks, possibly across the Nile during flood season, and then up elaborate ramp systems built around the pyramid itself. But the mechanics of such ramp systems, especially for placing blocks at the apex, remain a subject of intense debate and theoretical reconstruction, none of which fully satisfies the engineering community. Consider the precision. This is where the conventional explanations truly begin to buckle under the weight of the evidence. The base of the Great Pyramid is leveled to within an astonishing fraction of an inch across its entire 13-acre expanse. Its 4 sides are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass, deviating by a mere 0.05 degrees from true north. This level of astronomical and geographical orientation suggests a profound understanding of celestial mechanics and surveying that seems utterly incongruous with the supposed toolset of the era. How did they achieve such exactitude not just in orientation but in the very construction? The colossal blocks, some weighing many tons, are fitted together with a precision that often defies the insertion of a razor blade, particularly in the core structure and the casing stones, many of which have long since been plundered. This dry stone masonry, where blocks are meticulously shaped to interlock without mortar, speaks to a level of craftsmanship that seems almost impossible without laser-guided cutting and placement. Modern engineers, even with today's technology, would struggle to replicate such a feat on this scale, let alone with the speed and efficiency implied by the pyramid's completion within a single pharaoh's lifetime. The very angles of the pyramid, the consistent 51.5-degree slope of its faces, reflect an understanding of geometry and mathematics that some argue points to a knowledge of constants like pi and the golden ratio centuries before they were formally discovered by Greek mathematicians. Beyond the terrestrial precision, there are the celestial alignments. The 3 main pyramids of Giza, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure are not randomly placed. Many researchers, most notably those proposing the Orion correlation theory, suggest their positions on the ground mirror the 3 brightest stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, in their relative positions and magnitudes as they appeared in the sky around 10,500 BCE. While this specific dating is contentious, the principle of astronomical alignment is undeniable. The descending passage of the Great Pyramid, for instance, points directly to the star Thuban in the constellation Draco, which was the pole star around 2500 BCE, indicating a sophisticated knowledge of precessional cycles and stellar observation. Other passages align with specific solstices and equinoxes, suggesting the pyramids may have functioned as monumental observatories or timekeeping devices. These are not isolated anomalies. Across ancient Egypt, and indeed across the globe, we find other examples of megalithic structures demonstrating similar baffling precision and scale. The Osirian at Abydos, with its massive, perfectly cut granite blocks, the unfinished obelisk at Aswan, revealing the techniques, or rather the immense challenges, of quarrying, the intricate carvings within the Serapeum at Saqqara, where enormous granite sarcophagi, weighing up to 100 tons, are found with perfectly flat surfaces and internal angles that would challenge modern machining. The evidence consistently points to a level of engineering and technological capability that simply does not fit the historical narrative of a Bronze Age civilization limited to rudimentary tools and manual labor. How then did they do it? Was it the sheer force of human will and an unimaginable number of laborers, as some conventional theories suggest, pushing and pulling for decades? Or were there other factors at play, a deeper understanding of physics, acoustics, or even levitation that has been lost to time? The tools available to the ancient Egyptians, primarily copper chisels, stone hammers, ropes, and sledges, seem utterly inadequate for the tasks performed. There is no archaeological evidence of the massive ramp systems required, nor of the advanced surveying instruments or mathematical texts that would explain such precision. This segment of the documentary aims to lay bare the foundational questions that gnaw at the edges of our understanding. The Great Pyramids of Giza, in their unfathomable scale and astonishing precision, stand as a monumental challenge to our conventional historical timeline. They compel us to ask, what if the story we've been told is incomplete? What if there was an ancient technology, a forgotten science, or even an external influence that allowed these impossible feats to be accomplished? This is the core enigma, the central mystery that sets the stage for our deeper exploration into the possibility that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge or received assistance far beyond anything we currently acknowledge. The very existence of these structures demands that we open our minds to possibilities that lie outside the accepted paradigm, to consider whether the answers to these enduring questions might just be found in the realm of the truly extraordinary. For millennia, the Great Pyramids of Giza have stood as colossal testaments to human ambition and ingenuity. We gaze upon their sheer scale, their monumental presence dominating the desert landscape, and we marvel at the power of a civilization that could conceive and execute such wonders. But beyond their immense size, beyond the staggering tonnage of stone, lies an enigma far more profound, a level of astonishing precision that, for many, defies the known technological capabilities of the ancient Egyptians. Consider the very building blocks themselves. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, constructed around 2580 to 2560 BC, originally comprised an estimated 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks. While many of the outer casing stones, once polished to a brilliant sheen, have long since been plundered, historical accounts and remaining fragments reveal a surface finish so smooth and joints so tight that a razor blade could not be inserted between them. This isn't just about stacking rocks, it's about engineering on a scale and with an accuracy that challenges our understanding of the tools available some 4.5 millennia ago. Imagine the granite blocks of the king's chamber. Granite, a notoriously hard igneous rock, is significantly more difficult to work than limestone. Yet these massive slabs, weighing up to 70 tons, are not merely positioned. They are cut with flat, true surfaces and fitted with remarkable exactitude. How were such materials quarried, transported, and then shaped with such geometric perfection, using only copper tools, stone pounders, and sand abrasives, the very implements archaeologists largely attribute to the Old Kingdom Egyptians? The evidence of their craftsmanship speaks of a technology far beyond the simple hammer and chisel. The internal architecture of the pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid, only deepens the mystery. Descend into its heart, through the Grand Gallery, a soaring corbelled passage that climbs for nearly 150 feet. Its walls, made of precisely cut and fitted limestone blocks, rise in 7 successive courses, each overhanging the one below by a few inches, creating a monumental inverted V shape. The angles, the consistency, the sheer scale of this internal feat of engineering demands not just immense labor, but an advanced understanding of geometry, load-bearing stresses, and construction techniques that seem utterly anachronistic for the era. Then there is the infamous granite sarcophagus within the king's chamber. Crafted from a single massive block of dark red granite, it is hollowed out with interior surfaces that are remarkably flat and parallel. Its dimensions are so precise, its corners so perfectly square, that it seems to have been machined. Yet, it sits in a chamber it could not have been brought into once the pyramid was largely complete, suggesting it was placed there during construction. How was this colossal object, weighing several tons, not only carved with such exactitude, but also transported and maneuvered into its final resting place, high within the pyramid's core? The very thought of it, with known ancient tools, appears to defy logic. Beyond the internal precision, the pyramids of the Giza plateau exhibit astonishing alignments with celestial bodies. The Great Pyramid, for instance, is oriented to true north with an accuracy of just 3/60ths of a degree, an alignment so precise it surpasses many modern constructions. This isn't a mere approximation. It indicates a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and surveying. Furthermore, some theorists propose that the three main pyramids of Giza, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, mirror the three stars of Orion's belt, a celestial pattern revered by the ancient Egyptians. If true, this stellar correlation, dating back to around 10,500 BC according to some interpretations, implies a level of advanced astronomical observation and architectural planning far exceeding what traditional archaeology attributes to the period of their construction. The questions multiply when we examine so-called out-of-place artifacts, oop art, and other engineering feats scattered across ancient Egypt, which further fuel theories of advanced unknown assistance. Journey south to Saqqara, to the Serapeum, a vast underground necropolis. Here, within subterranean tunnels, lie 24 enormous, highly polished granite and basalt boxes, each weighing between 70 and 100 tons, including their lids. These monolithic sarcophagi, intended for the sacred Apis bulls, showcase an almost unbelievable level of precision. Their internal and external surfaces are flat to within fractions of an inch, their corners perfectly square, and their lids fit so tightly that they are practically hermetic. How were these immense, incredibly hard stone boxes fashioned with such geometric perfection? The sheer scale of the material removal, the flawless interior polishing, and the exact angles of these objects, all crafted from some of the hardest stones on Earth, push the boundaries of what copper chisels and stone pounders could realistically achieve. The marks on some of these boxes even suggest the use of high-speed rotary tools or precision saws, leaving behind telltale striations that are difficult to reconcile with manual labor and primitive abrasives. Then there are the enigmas of ancient drilling. Archaeological evidence from various sites reveals perfectly circular drill holes, often found in extremely hard granite or diorite, with consistent diameters and parallel sides, some exhibiting spiral grooves indicative of a rotating tool. Some core samples show feed rates and cutting speeds that would require significant power and specialized drill bits, akin to modern diamond-tip tools. These precise, perfectly round holes, sometimes found where they seem to serve no obvious structural purpose, suggest a technology capable of cutting through stone with a level of efficiency and accuracy that seems utterly alien to the supposed technological baseline of the Old Kingdom. Even the unfinished obelisk at Aswan, a massive granite monument still partially attached to its bedrock, offers a glimpse into the incredible challenges faced by Egyptian stonemasons. While it demonstrates the scale of their ambition and the methods of pounding and wedging stone, it also highlights the immense difficulty and potential for catastrophic failure in working with such materials. If this monumental task was so fraught with peril using known techniques, how then were countless other, equally massive and far more precisely finished structures successfully completed? From the microscopic precision of individual cuts to the macroscopic celestial alignments of entire structures, the evidence points to a technological sophistication that appears to leapfrog millennia of known human development. The traditional archaeological explanations, while valid for many aspects of ancient Egyptian life, seem to falter when confronted with the sheer, undeniable exactitude embedded within these colossal monuments. It is this profound disconnect, this cavernous gap between the simple tools we attribute to them and the astonishing results they demonstrably achieved, that fuels the enduring theories of advanced unknown assistance. Did ancient Egyptians possess a forgotten science, or did an external, perhaps extraterrestrial, intelligence provide the knowledge and means to achieve these impossible feats? The stones themselves, silent witnesses to an age-long past, continue to hold their secrets, challenging us to look beyond the conventional and ponder the true architects of these wonders. Across the vast sun-baked plains of Giza, where the desert wind whispers tales of millennia, stand monuments of such colossal scale and mathematical precision that they defy easy explanation. The Great Pyramid in particular, a wonder of the ancient world and the only one still largely intact, continues to perplex and inspire. For centuries, its construction has been attributed solely to the ingenuity and immense labor of the ancient Egyptians. But what if that narrative, however compelling, is incomplete? What if the true architects of these monumental structures were not entirely human? This radical proposition forms the core of the ancient astronaut theory, a hypothesis that suggests extraterrestrial beings, visiting Earth in antiquity, provided the knowledge, technology, or even direct assistance necessary for the creation of wonders like the pyramids. It posits a cosmic intervention, a silent hand guiding humanity's most ambitious endeavors, weaving behind a legacy of advanced achievements that seem utterly out of place for their time. This isn't just about moving stones. It's about a leap in understanding, a mastery of engineering and astronomy that proponents argue could not have spontaneously blossomed from the nascent civilizations of the Bronze Age. Consider the sheer audacity of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, erected around 2580 to 2560 BC during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom. It consists of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing on average 2.5 tons. Some of the massive granite beams in the King's Chamber, however, tip the scales at an astonishing 80 tons. How are these gargantuan stones quarried, transported hundreds of miles from Aswan, and then lifted into place, sometimes to heights exceeding 140 meters, using only ropes, sledges, and human brawn? Mainstream archaeology offers plausible, though still challenging, theories involving elaborate ramp systems and vast workforces. But for many, these explanations strain credulity when confronted with the precision involved. The pyramid's alignment to true north is remarkably accurate, off by a mere 0.05 degrees. Its sides are almost perfectly equilateral triangles, and the base is level to within an inch across its entire 230-meter length. Such exactitude, achieved without the aid of modern surveying equipment, lasers, or even the wheel in its most functional form for heavy transport, seems to hint at a level of understanding far beyond what we typically attribute to early Bronze Age cultures. Could this extraordinary precision be a fingerprint, a signature left by beings possessing a superior grasp of mathematics, physics, and engineering? It was in the late 1960s, with the publication of Erich von Daniken's seminal work, Star Chariots of the Gods, in this had and Mount Menor, 17-692 or 910-9 pass. Seminal management astronon theory truly captured the global imagination. Von Daniken meticulously compiled what he claimed were anomalies and enigmas from ancient texts, artifacts, and structures across the world, all pointing to a common conclusion: humanity's past was intertwined with visitors from the stars. He argued that ancient myths describing gods descending from the heavens in fiery chariots were not poetic metaphors, but literal accounts of extraterrestrial spacecraft and their occupants. These gods, he proposed, were the cosmic architects, bestowing knowledge upon early humans, kickstarting their civilization, and leaving behind monumental structures as testaments to their influence. Now let us turn our gaze to some of the most frequently cited evidence for alien intervention within Egypt itself, often interpreted as depictions of advanced technology. Deep within the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, a series of reliefs known as the Dendera Light captures the attention of many ancient astronaut theorists. These carvings show figures holding what appear to be large, bulb-like objects connected to cables, seemingly powered by a serpent-like filament within. To proponents, this is not a depiction of a mythologic lotus and a snake, but a clear representation of an ancient electric light bulb, an anachronistic technology that implies knowledge far beyond the capabilities of the Ptolemaic Egyptians, who constructed this temple around the 1st century BC. Could these carvings be a record of a forgotten advanced technology, or perhaps a memory of an external power source introduced by alien visitors? Further fuel for this hypothesis comes from the enigmatic Saqqara bird, an artifact discovered in a tomb at Saqqara in 1898, dating back to around 200 BC. This small wooden bird, with its unusual vertical tail fin and aerodynamic properties, has been interpreted by some as a model of an ancient glider, or even an aircraft. While mainstream Egyptology identifies it as a ceremonial object, perhaps a toy or a wind vane, ancient astronaut theorists suggest its design indicates an understanding of aerodynamics that shouldn't have existed until millennia later. Was it a mere coincidence or a functional model inspired by something airborne the Egyptians had witnessed? Perhaps the most visually striking and often discussed piece of evidence is found in the Temple of Seti I at Abydos, dating to around 1290 BC. Here, hieroglyphs appear to depict what look uncannily like modern vehicles, a helicopter, a submarine, and even a futuristic aircraft. While Egyptologists attribute these unusual shapes to palimpsest, the result of older carvings being plastered over and recarved, leading to overlapping images that create accidental new forms, the ancient astronaut community sees a deliberate, unmistakable record. They argue that these images are too specific, too detailed to be mere accidents of erosion and recarving. Could these be glimpses into the technology of the gods themselves, etched into stone for future generations to decipher? The appeal of the ancient astronaut theory extends beyond Egypt, weaving a narrative thread across the globe. From the megalithic structures of Pumapunku in Bolivia, with their impossibly precise, interlocking stone blocks, to the vast geoglyphs of the Nazca Lines in Peru, which are best appreciated from an aerial perspective, proponents argue for a common, non-human source of knowledge. The idea is that these seemingly disconnected wonders share a sophisticated underlying intelligence, a cosmic blueprint, delivered by advanced beings who visited Earth at critical junctures in human history. They posit that humanity, left to its own devices, would have progressed at a much slower, more linear pace. The sudden appearance of highly complex astronomical knowledge, sophisticated mathematics, and monumental engineering in various ancient cultures is, for them, the missing link that only an extraterrestrial catalyst can explain. The questions persist. If aliens did intervene, what was their motive? Were they benevolent teachers, accelerating human development out of curiosity or a sense of mentorship? Or were they merely observers, leaving behind unintentional traces of their technology that inspired humanity to mimic what it saw? The very concept challenges our understanding of human potential and our place in the universe. It invites us to consider that our greatest achievements might not be solely our own, but part of a grander cosmic narrative. While mainstream archaeology continues to meticulously uncover and document the ingenious, albeit arduous, methods employed by ancient civilizations, offering increasingly detailed explanations for how these feats were achieved through human effort alone, the ancient astronaut hypothesis offers an alternative, more profound answer. It speaks to a deep human fascination with the unknown, a persistent wonder at the seemingly impossible, and an enduring hope that we are not alone in the vast expanse of the cosmos. The pyramids stand as silent sentinels, enduring monuments to a mystery that continues to beg the question, were they built by the hands of men, or were they guided by the wisdom of the stars? The Great Pyramid of Giza, a monumental enigma rising from the sands of Egypt, has captivated humanity for millennia. Its sheer scale, the precision of its construction, and the colossal weight of its stones have fueled countless theories, some reaching beyond conventional history. How could a civilization seemingly without advanced technology achieve such an architectural marvel? Could ancient astronauts, endowed with superior knowledge and tools, have lent a hand? The allure of extraterrestrial intervention offers a compelling yet convenient explanation for perceived impossibilities. Yet beneath the veneer of these compelling mysteries lies a different, equally extraordinary truth. one that speaks not of alien visitors but of the profound, often underestimated ingenuity of the human spirit. We embark on a journey into the rigorously researched world of archaeology, experimental engineering, and historical scholarship. We will explore the tangible evidence, the persistent whispers from the past, and the remarkable breakthroughs in understanding that suggest the pyramids were in fact triumphs of terrestrial innovation. These structures stand as enduring monuments to the sophisticated organization, innovative tools, and deep astronomical understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization. Our exploration begins at the quarries, the very source of these monumental stones. The most crucial for the Great Pyramid were located hundreds of kilometers south, near modern-day Aswan. Here, vast deposits of granite lay waiting to be transformed. The unfinished obelisk at Aswan, weighing an estimated 1,168 tons, offers an invaluable window into ancient quarrying. Its abandonment due to a crack reveals the sheer scale and meticulous standards, not a lack of technology. How did they extract such massive blocks without steel tools or explosives? The answer lies in persistent human effort and clever application of natural properties. Excavations at Aswan and Tura, source of granite and fine white limestone for the pyramid's casing, reveal consistent quarrying methodologies. Workers identified natural fissures, then employed diorite pounders, extremely hard spherical stones, to hammer grooves into the granite, slowly isolating the desired block. For softer limestone, copper chisels and wooden mallets sufficed. Once outlined, wooden wedges were inserted into drilled holes. Water poured onto these wedges caused the wood to expand with immense force, effectively splitting the rock along its natural cleavage planes. This slow, labor-intensive process, utilizing diorite pounders and wooden wedges, was highly effective, yielding blocks with remarkable precision, a testament to the patient and skilled hands of thousands. Once extracted, these colossal stones, some weighing upwards of 70 tons for the king's chamber in the Great Pyramid, needed to be transported over vast distances. Archaeological findings and experimental recreations strongly support the use of sledges. These sturdy wooden platforms, often lubricated with water or even milk to reduce friction, were pulled by teams of men. A fresco from the tomb of Jehu-Tehotep c. 1900 BCE depicts 172 men pulling a colossal statue on a lubricated sledge, providing direct insight into organized human power for overland transport. Recent research, like a 2014 Star Physical Review Letters star study, confirms wet sand significantly reduce the force needed, validating this ancient technique. For long distances, especially from Aswan to Giza, the Nile River served as ancient Egypt's indispensable superhighway. Massive barges, constructed from local timbers and capable of carrying multiple tens of tons, ferried the stones. During the annual inundation, when the Nile flooded its banks, water levels rose significantly, allowing barges closer to construction sites, minimizing overland journeys. Evidence of ancient harbors and canals near Giza, including the Wadi el-Jarf papyri from Khufu's reign, c. 2589-2566 BCE, describe transporting limestone from Tura via a vast network of canals directly to the construction site. These papyri, detailing workgang activities, offer an unparalleled first-hand account of this monumental logistical effort. With stones at the pyramid's base, the ultimate challenge began, lifting and placing them hundreds of feet with astonishing precision. This, the most debated aspect, finds compelling answers in human ingenuity. While no complete ramp survives, archaeological evidence, from remnants at the Pyramid of Meidum to the spiral ramp at Hatnub Quarry, strongly supports their existence and evolution. Several ramp types have been proposed. A straight ramp from the base would quickly become impractically long and steep. More plausible are spiraling ramps, either external or an internal system. The Hatnub ramp discovery, c. 4,500 years ago, contemporaneous with the Great Pyramid, reveals a steep rake flanked by staircases with post holes. This design allowed workers to pull heavy sledges up steep inclines using ropes and leverage, reducing required materials. Published in 2018, this demonstrates a sophisticated, previously underestimated understanding of mechanics. Regardless of ramp design, the principle was gradual stone elevation. Simple wooden levers were indispensable for fine adjustments and final placement. Thousands of skilled, organized laborers worked in shifts, meticulously hauling and positioning each block. Experimental archaeology, like Nova's This Old Pyramid, 1997, demonstrates the feasibility of these methods with basic tools and dedicated workforce. It was an aggregation of simple, effective techniques applied on an unprecedented scale. Beyond mechanics, pyramids exhibit astounding precision and astronomical alignment. The Great Pyramid aligns to true north with less than 1/10 of a degree deviation, its base level within an inch across 13 acres. How did a civilization without modern surveying equipment achieve this? The answer lies in their profound understanding of astronomy and geometry. Ancient Egyptian architects were keen observers of the night sky. Stellar observations, particularly of circumpolar stars, determined true north. For leveling, simple water-filled trenches or A-frame levels with plumb bobs, though rudimentary, were remarkably accurate when used meticulously. The standardized royal cubit, c. 52.3 centimeters, was consistently used across all major construction projects. This combination of astronomical knowledge, practical tools, and standardized measurement achieved the astonishing accuracy we observe. Pyramid construction was a monumental exercise in social organization and resource management. Contrary to popular myths, evidence suggests skilled, well-fed laborers, often farmers working during the Nile's inundation. The workers' village at Giza, with bakeries, barracks, and a hospital, reveals a highly organized, state-sponsored project. Estimates suggest 20,000–30,000 skilled and unskilled laborers for the Great Pyramid, working in rotation over 20 years under Pharaoh Khufu. This immense undertaking required sophisticated leadership, meticulous planning, and unwavering vision. Viziers like Hebeyunu, chief architect of the Great Pyramid, oversaw every aspect from quarrying to worker deployment. Egyptian belief centered on the pharaoh's divinity and the afterlife provided powerful motivation. The pyramids were not just tombs, they were cosmic machines, designed to ensure the pharaoh's successful journey to the afterlife and Egypt's stability. When we gaze upon Giza's majestic pyramids, we witness not extraterrestrial handiwork, but the pinnacle of ancient human achievement. They stand as an enduring testament to collective human endeavor, ancient Egyptian innovation, and relentless ambition. They remind us that with ingenuity, organization, and will, humanity can shape the world in astounding ways. The true marvel is the sheer audacity of their ambition and the extraordinary human capacity to realize it. The pyramids are not alien, they are gloriously human.